Hey guys, it's Jonah here, back with another beer review. And we are back with the Stone and Friends. And it's interesting because we're definitely in the and Friends moniker. And today we are going to be looking at this beer, Fiercely Sublime, from Fierce Beer. Is it going to focus? There we go. Have to do a bit of violent reshooting. Weird spider diagram, this bad boy, and this is a Black IPA, which is cool. I like Black IPA. They're giving a full point for mouthfeel, which is interesting. 5.7% on the ABV, and did I say that just now? Anyway, I've said it twice. Inspired by Stone's subliminally self-righteous, smooth Black IPA. Lots of coffee, lots of chocolates, followed by slightly pine and tropical hit, Chinook, Simcoe and Amarillo. Very interesting. So, this one was inspired by a Black IPA from Stone, from the looks of things. They say it's got tropical in there, which is weird because I don't know if any of those hops are actually tropical. Hey, we'll see what we get. But here is the actual can. Fiercely Sublime. Homage, it says. Homage IPA. So I guess it's a homage to the Stone. Fierce beer. I don't know. I haven't had a really stonking good beer from Fierce, I don't think. Ooh, what's that? Some sort of skulls and... that's the demon. That is really interesting. That is the demon, I guess, or a version of the demon that Stone Brewing have. That is class. I like that. Fiercely Sublime. Basically says exactly the same thing in the magazine. Got barley, wheat and oats, which is always good to see. And it is in Dice, near Aberdeen, which is where my mother went to university, up in Aberdeen. Pretty cool up there. I like Aberdeen. Right, let's get this bad boy into our glass. Hey laddie. Right, gonna be doing one of these stemmed boys again. Let's go for a reasonable pour to get the aroma going, which is always a good thing. Nice bit of head on that bad boy too. There we go. That's as good as it gets. Oh, as its seat almost falls down. Chamon. Okay, so maybe because I forced it, who knows? We have at least a finger's head. It is not pure white. It is, I'd say, kind of tan, perhaps, or between white and tan. Oh, look at those bubbles. Wow, you get a nice bubble shot because it decided to focus. That is definitely a carbonated beer. Don't forget, this is a Black IPA. This is not a stout. But if you were to give it a quick look at that, you blatantly say it was a stout, wouldn't you? Interesting. Getting roast, getting sweet, but also getting that hop. And it's, yeah, it is the lovely kind of hops. I've totally forgot what they're in here. Chinook, Simcoe, Amarillo. I guess it must be the Chinook that's giving me that nose. Simcoe, which I always think is orange, perhaps like a marmalade thing. Amarillo is also orange and is definitely, no, sorry, Simcoe is the juicy orange. Amarillo is the kind of marmalade-y kind of orange, for me anyway. But I'm not getting that on the nose. I'm just getting the roast. Black IPA is a crazy style anyway. I love black IPA. Because you get that roastiness and then you get ridiculous hoppiness as well. It's some people hate black IPA. They do not like it as a style. However, it has survived. It was thought of in the same way as like a brut IPA, which I've had a couple and they're not that great, really. It is a fad. It's 100% a fad. Black IPA, a lot of people said that it was going to be a fad, but it's hung around. It has definitely hung around, and it's clearly within the BJCP guidelines. So it's not going away. It's not dying. It's hanging on. We shall see what happens, but I think that would be a bad idea because Black IPA is quite a unique style, and it does have roastiness usually first, and then just loads of hops. It's just I love Black IPA. It's so unusual. It's so different. Very, very cool. Right, trying to get the old tash out of the way. Cheers and beers. Oh, by the way, guys, if you like this video, don't have to decide now, but if you do like this video, please click like down below. Please click subscribe. If you haven't enjoyed this video, keep watching till the end. You never know, it might pick up in the second half, like that dodgy football that we've been watching at the World Cup. It's a shit cup. It's rubbish cup. You should never play football in the middle of a desert. It's fake. The whole thing is complete nonsense. Anyway, if you're still here and you haven't hung up the video, why don't you subscribe, click like down below, or even send me a message. That's the coolest thing. I really love getting a message. Let's dive in. Cheers and beers. Whoa. So I'm getting the carbonation kind of burn, but then it's sort of roasty coffeeness. And I'd forgotten there's wheat and oats in this bad boy too. So this is kind of like a hazy black IPA. I don't know. Ironically though, I'm not getting or not so far, not getting that many hops, which is weird. They're there, but it's a bit more, well, in my first mouthful, that was very much malt forward, but yeah, it was all masked by that carbonation. So hopefully they haven't force carbonated this beer, because probably that would have been a mistake. Ooh, there we go. That's the release valve for the carbonation of beer. Let's dive in. Oh, by the way, I have had some other beers before this, which, yeah, one of them was at a pub, and then I had one watching the football earlier on. Crazy. Oh. Carbonation hit. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not really getting that many hops at all. And an IPA should be heavily hopped. And I was joking. If you saw some of my videos in the past, I was joking, well, half joking, about black IPA, because IPA is a India Pale Ale. That's what IPA stands for, as if you didn't know. Come on, dear listener, you knew that, right? Pale ale, but it's black. So it's a black pale ale. Weird, just weird. Yeah, and I was sort of exchanged a few things with Sarah Pantry, who's just blown my mind this week with some crazy Advent beer. But so 24 beers, Advent beer in a box, but all the beers were homebrew. It was a homebrew Advent calendar. I mean, my God. I'm going to leave this for a little bit. Let me talk to you about Advent calendars, because I obviously uploaded a video going through the different Advent calendars available in the UK only, I'm afraid. Well, maybe Ireland and, you know, surrounding areas. America, you've probably got your own, so you don't have to worry. I got a Black Friday offer, which was incredible, from one of, I'm not going to name them, but from one of the beer companies, saying, oh, we've got some Advent calendars left from last year. We're going to give you a 55% discount. I was like, oh wow, that's so amazing. And then I thought, man, they're a year old at least. Some of them might be well out of date. And then I looked at what the beers were, and the majority, I would say 90% of the beers I've had in some form already, like by somewhere else. So I was incredibly disappointed. It's like, shit, should I spend, and it was like something like 45 quid for 24 beers. So that's kind of under £2 a beer. And they're going to be 330s, aren't they? They're going to be these little poncy little beers, like Fierce Beer, Fiercely Sublime. They're going to be like that size. And I like trying different beers, and obviously I like reviewing beers. So you can't really review a beer. Well, you can, I suppose, but people get bored when you review the same beer too many times. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? If you're still here, if you're still listening to this, should I buy some beer? I'm going to review them anyway. I've got my advent calendar downstairs, my beer one. Should I buy a second one, knowing that it's beers I've already had, purely to just generate some extra content? Some people say I drink too many beers, and essentially that would be drinking 2 beers every day for a month. Like, that's quite a lot of beer. Okay, that last sip, as usual, had a little bit more flavour. I am almost convinced that some of the particulates, maybe it's to do with the oats and the wheat putting tiny little particles into a beer that obviously over time drop to the bottom. When you pour them out, they come out last, but then they settle out to the bottom again. I always find that your last mouthful of a glass is probably the most flavourful. That time I got a small, very small taste of kind of that. It was weird because it had the roastiness, it had the silky smoothness. It was like a Terry's or a Cadbury's Terry's chocolate orange. So that's kind of what this beer was. I also have some nice Tide lines, 4 sips, which is kind of where we needed to be. I've had a little bit of a rant about Advent beers. I'm still umming and ahhing about, should I? I've got an Advent calendar of beer. I've already got one, but should I do Black Friday beers, knowing that most of them I've had? But I mean, and most of them. The other thing is, most of them are available at some point in the supermarkets in the UK. And if I bought them all there, it would have been cheaper than probably buying this advent calendar, even at normal price. You do get other things. You get a glass. I think this one you get a pair of socks, a pair of Christmas socks, which which I might wear on my manhood instead of my feet, because I'm a chili peppers kind of dude, if you know what I mean. I'm in an R-ing about it. I will let you know what I decide to do, but I might wait too long and they might have been sold out. So I'm kind of indifferent at the moment. Anyway, this has been Unclejona, waxing lyrical, talking nonsense, talking old toot, drinking fierce beer, fiercely sublime, Black IPA. Was it a true representation of Black IPA? Probably not. It was just too tame for me to be a Black IPA, to be honest. It was quite nice. I like the fact that it had the oats and wheat in, but the fact that they put that in, detracted a little bit from the lack of hops. It was just a bit wishy-washy, nothing too much going on. More hops, guys. That's what you need. This has been Unclejona saying "Shum to you on." Are you all? You on? What am I talking about? Shum on, you on. It's Jonna here. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And yeah, thanks for watching till the end.